Good evening. Welcome to day 18. Cutting it right at the last minute, of course. Getting this recording in after a much needed movie this evening. So, wanted to wanted to walk you through a little bit some of the changes that I made just a little bit ago, and some of the next steps of things that I am working through. Do have a little bit of a bug in here, but I'm kind of working through it. So, if you remember uh, earlier, so as part of the day 17, started working on the menu, started getting a few more interactables in there, and let me go. Of course, I said I've got a bug. I wasn't lying. All right. So as as part of what I was doing with that was starting to build up the UI a bit more, and now I want to build up the game some more. So I do have some new UI elements. First and foremost, biggest thing that I'm super excited about is when you actually go into the upgrade menu and you hover over over one of your towers. I did get a little bit of a pop up and showing, of course, the damage and the fire rate, which are the two things that at this point are extremely important. The other thing that I did is I'm changing a bit with how fire rate works. So what I was doing before is I was giving a fraction of a second. So if the if it took over a second, it would be, I don't know, 1.2, 1.4 for the fire rate, which says, how often does it shoot? Well, that wasn't really easy to calculate down to the damage per second or truly even fire rate. If I wanted to present it to an individual. Now, this fire rate is not great, but this is definitely first pass. So that fire rate is how many times it is being shot or how long it takes for a shot to go through. So as you see, the basic boy, that's a shot off every 1.51 seconds, and fast boy, it is half a second roughly. So looking to refine those numbers a little bit more. My goal with these ones, if you can't tell, fast boy, a little less damage, a little faster. I'm going to be adjusting the prices as well. Whatever. Again, first pass. And then we have the basic boy, which does 10 damage, but it is shooting much less frequently. So that we're going to figure that one out. Before these updates, all of the damage was the same. Everybody was pumping out 10. It was just the rate of fire at that point. The next thing, which is definitely a work in progress, is I am showing pop-up with the information. Oh, well, look at that. They're all just floating on top. Anyways, with information about the individual tower. So I want to allow us to upgrade and sell towers. So the goal on this one is just to provide those details. If you couldn't tell, I clicked within like a space and it showed off. If I click like right here, both of them, it's going to pop up for both of them. That's something that is again definitely a work in progress. It's picking up anywhere within the collision. Excuse me. At this point, if I click on the sprite, I want it to show, and if I click off, I want it to go away. So debating how I want to do that. I'm just kind of looking into it. I may have just done a little bit of logic right before the recording of this video. So those are the things that I really worked on. This was again continuing to do the UI, continuing to build that out. This is a lot of very basic stuff. It was really nice going through some of the UI stuff as part of 17 because that definitely helped out with this. I'm gonna make sure we don't die. Let's get some fast boys over here. Anyways, as part of day 17, just being able to take a look at some of the UI and do a little bit of a refresher on that. This stuff was built up in no time. It's the interactions and pulling the data down and trying to figure out the pieces I want, writing it all down on the iPad and kind of walking through like, what exactly do I want? That helped a lot. Now, I'm not completely satisfied with it, and that's okay. Again, first pass, let's figure out where this one goes. So, what are the next steps from here? So, my goal for day 19, excuse me, my goal for day 19 is to definitely get those pop-ups on the individual towers fixed up, as well as getting the leveling, the upgrading system in place. The goal is to provide a roughly 10 to 15% increase on the different stats. There's a potential that I may have one scale higher than the other. So maybe it's going to be like a 10% additional damage, maybe 15%, but maybe like a 5% additional speed. And then maybe additional amplifiers past that. I really haven't done much more than, rough spreadsheet testing. So my goal is to definitely figure out what that's going to look like. Maybe I'll create a chart or something and I'll see what it'll look like, because we need exponential growth. I mean, my hope is in the next few days we can go ahead and get that wave stuff going. So I'll be able to get a defined list of enemies that come through when all the enemies are defeated. That wave is done. You can start on the next wave. The next wave countdown starts. When you've completed all the waves, which hopefully will have a boss at the end. I mean, we've got all the plumbing in place. Then when you've completed the boss, then that level is completed. And then at that point, it's all about just replicating that, creating a really simple base that can be replicated and effectively just have additional stats thrown at it. So I think we're coming really close to just needing to do the balancing thing and seeing how it feels. Never gone this far on a game before. Usually at this point, it's a lot of prototyping, playing with stuff, and just kind of, chucking it into that dev folder, and effectively it's just dying. So I'm pretty excited with where this is at. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it. We're hitting about midnight here. I'm going to go get some much needed rest. And anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy your evening. Take care.